And welcome to another episode of What the Tech. I'm Rolando Rosas, your host. On today's show, we've got a really good one. We've got the best budget headset under $200, and it's primarily for business professionals that are looking to upgrade their game and their online presence. And as always, over here in the other magic square is my partner riding shotgun again, David Kelly.
Rondo, listen, man, when this product was released earlier this year, I had very high expectations, and some of the demos that you had put together really are really impressive. So looking forward to seeing what this product is all about and showing the world.
We had a lot of fun doing some bits and some reviews. So we're going to just dive right into it, Dave, because we got a bunch of stuff that we want to cover. Time is not our friend right now, so we want to give you the most that we can, and we're going to bring it to you now. But before we get there, and we'll have some bonus tips, so you might want to stick around to the end on this one. Before we get there, Dave, let's tackle that trivia question. What do we have for today?
What did they throw at us this time?
I have no idea. So if you're watching us live right now, or even in the playback, we don't know what the answers are. We don't even know now. We're just going to straight up surprises here. All right, let's see what Ori got. You want to read it, or you want me to read it?
I'll read it. So, I mean, it's right there in blue and white.
Okay.
The world's oldest operating webcam has been on since what year? 84, 94, 04, 2014. I guess I would assume what I'm going to assume. I'm not going to say it, but we'll find out at the end, right?
I know. I have my thoughts on that. We'll have to see and check it out.
We're going to have to start betting like Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, right? Let's bet in Bitcoin.
Yeah. We should. Why not? I think we both have some.
Absolutely. You know, I think I did. I opened up my first crypto wallet. But we'll save that for another episode.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know. So we'll see about that trivia too. So today, yes, we were talking about the P5 from Poly. So if you don't know, Poly changed their name from Plantronics to Poly, and Polycom merged with Plantronics. So they went to the Poly name. So let's just clear that before we jump into it. And we just want to remind you, before we get into all the meat and all the heart of today's content, to like, subscribe, and get notified. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook or one of our other platforms, you want to go ahead, get subscribed, because we come out with nuggets that are not released during the show. And we just want to let you know to get advised on those, get notified, hit all that stuff, so that you can get the latest that we release. All right, Dave. So let's jump in. Who is this webcam for? Let's answer that question. Why should I even care, Dave? Why should many people through the pandemic of last year went out and bought webcams? If you were fortunate and lucky, Dave, because not everybody was able to get their hands on something, especially that was budget friendly.
I know. You know what? The stuff flew off the shelf. Everyone was desperate for a webcam. A lot of people were looking at entry-level budget type products. The P5 hadn't been released yet at that time. So people were really just grabbing whatever they could grab. And, you know, a lot of the folks that I've been in touch with, they really weren't overly impressed. Now, you take the other people that didn't get their hands on anything, and then they were stuck with whatever was on their computer. Right. And you know what? At that time, they had something. It was fine. It was okay. It did the job. But now they've had a chance to use video. And they're like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to be scared of video anymore. Maybe it actually brings a lot of value into the conversation. Maybe it's folks that are doing demonstrations. I know that we've had to use it a couple of times to speak with engineers about little things on our products and whatnot. But
it's helped out a lot. This P5 when we're talking about that, and we're going to get to the fine details on what this looks like. But let's tell a little bit of the story on this P5. Like you were saying, Dave, a lot of folks didn't have it during the pandemic. It wasn't released then. They added some things that are absolutely game changers for a budget-friendly type of webcam. Yeah. Most webcams will do kind of an okay job, right? You're looking for something to be better than your standard laptop webcam or the built-in webcam, or even if you're still using your smartphone for talking to clients video-wise. Now, this webcam really takes some of the features that Polycom has been known for and puts it in a really small package. And so if we were to say, first of all, who is this for, Dave? Who should be really paying attention and looking at this as the webcam to upgrade if they're using something else,
Yep.
or maybe they've been using their laptop. Let's talk about that first. Who's this ideal user or users that would be gravitating to the P5?
So many different industries, so many different types of organizations. I mean, it could be help desk, it could be engineering. We talk about folks that are in the healthcare field, manufacturing. I know I'm kind of looking at a list that we had all put together, but I'll tell you, I can't think of an organization that really couldn't benefit from the inclusion of video. It adds so much value. It can shorten explanations, just make things a lot easier for anybody. So, and it's not just for, streaming or conferencing. Sometimes it's just you're using it to create a video. Maybe it's a personal video. Again, maybe it's something that you need to get into a nook and cranny so that you can explain something. And the video itself is a helpful piece to it.
Well, I could tell you something from a couple of things from two stories from personal experience, just like very recently within the last week before we got to on air, and I'd love to share it with other folks that they can relate. So I was on a reunion. I won't even say how many years ago, really, a class reunion.
10 years, right?
I was on a class reunion just a few days ago, and so we had like a dance party, reunion type thing, and then I was using just my MacBook laptop, and it was at night, and I was seeing, they had it set up so they highlighted different people throughout the thing. Boy, I got to tell you, the MacBook did not provide the quality of picture that I thought it would by itself, because I hadn't used the native webcam on the MacBook. So I grabbed the P5, and as they were going around, it was kind of like a round robin jumbotron kind of thing, watching people dance, like maybe the Kiss Cam at a stadium or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I put on the P5, and they broke this up into 4 squares on the screen out of, I don't know, all the people that were on there. After I put on the P5, I kid you not, Dave, my image that was my feed that was going out to everybody that was on the Zoom type of call and on the mini jumbotron, the 4 squares, they kept mine in the left quadrant the entire time. Not that I was looking to do that. I was just just participating as part of the class reunion, but the video quality was so much better than everything else because most of everybody else had. And I was looking at different people. They just had a standard webcam from their laptop.
I hate poor video. It makes me tired to watch. It definitely makes me tired to watch.
Yeah, and I think that Zoom fatigue is a real thing, but I think part of that is that people want, and I think we had Sam on, his words were people want that experience, and we've had another guest as well that's not in the video field. He works for IBM, Adam. What's it, Adam? Yes, Adam Mistrelli. He came on and said, people want to have an experience. Because we've been kind of retrained, our brain is retrained, we've watched a lot of Netflix. I wish I had more time to watch more Netflix. So Netflix and other production on TV. And then you go from that to something where you're stuck on several Zoom calls throughout the day. You find yourself like the quality, there's a huge drop off, right? And people want that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not surprised. I mean, think about it. Poly. So Poly is a new name. It's the Plantronics and Polycom coming together. I knew about Polycom back when I got into the industry back in 2000. So video has always been a strong point for Polycom, now Poly. So they've had a lot of time to do what they do best. And this product, I know that you have some demos that's
we're going to get right to it. We're going to show people that
exactly what you were talking about there between those two different devices. So that's cool.
I know. And one other thing, Dave, that before we get to the videos, the thing that we're going to also talk about here is what is this good for? So people that are in health, and I was going to say that I have another story where I was on a call with a doctor recently, and we did a telemedicine session just over, and her particular video and audio were really low quality. And at the end I said, I'm sure you have clients that all the day. And she said, oh yeah, I'm talking to people all the time with this new telemedicine thing. And I said, you know what? People will appreciate if the video as well as the audio, or is it, it doesn't matter. Pick one, start with one. You can up it because this particular doctor was using the native audio on the laptop, which didn't sound really good. It sounded like she was 20 feet back. And so she had not had anybody really say anything to her, but she mentioned to me that she'd had to repeat herself. People had told her that the audio wasn't the best, but nothing about the video. She's looking real grainy and whatnot. But she really appreciated that I brought that up for her, and I think that some people just, Dave, don't even realize, because on their end the laptop shows a perfect picture.
Yeah, good point.
But when it comes to what people see on the other end, on the far end, they're not seeing that perfect picture. All right, so enough of my stories. Let's get to showing what we have to showcase. So let's go into the key features and benefits of this P5. All right, and so wait, do we have like a listen up on this one that we can throw to? That's it. Go for it. All right. I love that. So, key features and benefits, Dave. And I want to say something before we go into the key features and benefits. Si usted habla español y necesita una compañía que lo ayuda cuando necesita equipo de video o diademas, auriculares, nosotros estamos aquí para servirles. Para mis hermanos que están en los Estados Unidos, o si estás afuera de los Estados Unidos, en México o otra parte de Latinoamérica, estamos aquí para servirle. Okay, I just wanted to throw that in there, Dave, because we have folks that are both watching us and customers from the U.S. and around the world in Latin America that watch us and come to us for products and services. So I want to just remind them that we're here to serve them.
I'm going to actually do the rest of this in Spanish. So if that's okay with you, why don't we stick with that? The features and benefits, I'm looking at the very first one. That's like one of my favorite things about this particular product, but I'm going to let you take a run at this.
All right. So I've been playing around with this P5 now for almost about 3 weeks. It's actually on, you can't see it, but it's on my monitor because I've been using it a lot lately. There is a really cool thing. Most webcams will stay on your laptop. Most webcams will stay on your monitor if that's where you have it. This guy just comes right off of it, like literally a magnetic thing, and it just comes off and you can show it. So if you want to show, Dave, you were talking about earlier how engineers, people that provide tech support, and other folks, maybe even the medical field, where you need to show body parts or particular images that are, need to be in real high resolution and in good detail. Oh, thanks for throwing that in, Ori. So I want you to pause it right there, or if you can. You see this right now, we're showing folks, this is the actual footage from a P5 webcam where I take a surgical knife. This is an actual surgical knife used in the operating room, and you could actually read the word stainless on it. And I'm just giving you, by comparison, this is a remote control in the background. There you go. You can actually see the word stainless right there. And you can also see the logo on here when I put it into the right angle. But you can see the and you know what? I never knew, Dave, on my remote, I had those little like Braille, like raised. Yeah. Until I saw this video, I never knew that was there. And I never knew that this surgical knife it had the word stainless on it. But as we were shooting this, I realized those things, like, wow, I was actually even more impressed. So if you have to show things in really high, clear resolution, and this is literally just taking it off the mount that's on there, yep. And just holding it with my hand. So very good images. For the price. This is something that you would normally find, Dave, in a very high-end camera, mm-hmm. where you have these kind of optics, and there you get, you get a little bit more perspective on how much it's zoomed in on this surgical knife as well as on this particular remote control.
It's a great demo, and I hope folks that are looking at it are thinking outside of the box. Again, it's not just for web meetings. It's not just for Zoom. Think about how you can incorporate video to make your job easier. And if detail is going to help, this is definitely the camera for you.
All right. Well, you know what I'm going to do? It's going to look a little funny because I'm going to reach. I'm going to see if I can reach over to it so I can show folks what that looks like. Okay. So the P5, let's look at it right there. Okay. So that's the webcam, right? And here's the mount. And what you just saw in that video was me just literally just snap that off. It comes right off. And then I was able to go ahead and, point it right at the particular object. Like in that case, it was the remote control and the knife. And you're able to get those images that you're looking at, Dave. I didn't think it would zoom in on it that way and the images would come out as clear, but it did. And so if your job is to show people images in manufacturing, telemed, engineering, and other places, construction work at sometimes, this will make your life easier because a picture, an image says a lot more when you're trying to communicate with somebody versus putting things in an email or writing it out for somebody. The image really speaks volumes and you don't even have to say words.
Yeah, that's nice. What I do like about what you just did there is that mount. So it does come off of the mount, but you could have that connected to a tripod, but still have the ability to take that off.
So here's the mount that comes with it.
Yep.
All right. Now there is a magnetic strip underneath to hold that mount in place as well if you put it on a flat surface or your monitor. So it comes off, and underneath, right here, as you could see, you've got an area here where you can, instead of using this guy that comes in the box, you can stick it on a tripod. And so if you're maybe shooting film or need to have it in a fixed location and you need to put it on a tripod, maybe it's got to be higher or upside down or some other, it comes with the ability so that you can put it on your tripod. So it's a standard tripod mount hole. I hope I'm saying that correct. I'm not a photographer. I know we have our producer who he's more from, he can go on a cold shoe, right? Is that the word? A cold, Ori? What is it called? There we go. My producer is saying it has a 3/4 thread. So it's the standard type that you would use a professional camera. Actually, the kind that I have that I'm shooting on right now, a Sony camera. So it could take the Sony camera if I wanted to off, and I just put this bad boy right on there and you'd be seeing those images. So yeah, good point, Dave. You could use a tripod for it. The other thing, and I think besides the dismount off of the mount, the other thing is the low light capability on this thing. What the heck do I mean by low light compensation? It means, simply put, if I were to take these lights off, and we're going to show you a demonstration of this right now. If I were to take the lights were dimmer, I'm in an apartment or in a basement or at night, and I have low light, or maybe I don't even have a ring light for that matter. This bad boy right here, this will show your true colors, and it will show you better than when you use your laptop. Ori, do we have the video on that? All right, let's go to it. Let's show people.
Okay. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn down the lights to bring out one of the most interesting features on this P5, and that's its low light compensation. So it can bring light in, whereas other webcams won't. So in this shot, we've got virtually no light or very low light. There's light around me that you can't see, and there's lights that are coming from the monitors that are behind the webcams. And what you're able to see on the P5 is a lot more resolution. The picture looks clearer. It doesn't look as washed out. It doesn't look as pixelated. And this is where the P5 shines, under low light conditions. So if you're filming or doing any kind of content creation at night or in the evening or in a location where you don't happen to have a lot of light, the P5 is really where it really stands out. I could tell by looking at the monitor, there's a clear winner here between the two. And the P5 shows your face, shows the background, shows the images around you or anything that's near you in a much better, much more clearer fashion.
All right. Go back and go back to the last few frames of that. Just put it on next to us. Because, okay, so we did not highlight which one was which. Now, I mentioned it in the video, Now the P5 is going to be your image. If you're looking at on the left, is the P5. And a couple of things I want to draw your attention to. Behind me in that video, I want you to look at the backdrop, the curtain, drapes, whatever. That color on this particular shot is much truer to the color there that I actually see, because that's the one that's actually was right behind me. Not right now, but it was back when we shot that. And that was, and on the right is my standard MacBook, your webcam that's built right in. The color on that backdrop is not the same. It's not the exact same color. The other thing, if you look right next to the drapes, I have another webcam that's made by Poly. You can actually see that image much clearer than on the right where you have the Apple webcam at work. Yep, there we go. Thank Ori. And the other thing, if you're also looking for details, look behind me in the plant that's behind me. The plant behind me, you can actually make that out pretty well. You can make out the leaves. There's 3 leaves that are standing up right over my shoulder. So there's more level of detail that you can see, as well as there's another drape. I have another drape there that's a brownish color with a little bit of light that's coming through. You can actually see that light that comes through from the sun. And so you get a much higher level of detail. My face is clearer, Dave. You can actually make out my face a little bit better.
Yeah.
As well as the detail on my shirt, the word Scubana. So what you get is a huge improvement, especially if you're in the business of showing people things clearly. And we're talking about raising your game. And this does do that, Dave.
Listen, the devil is in the details, as they say. The quality is night and day. And like you said, this is a low light test. So when people are investing in some of these things, they'll do a camera, maybe a headset. Lighting is not the first thing that's coming to mind. The ring light,
it's an afterthought.
Is so distracting. I find the ring light distracting. You don't need that here. Budget
No ring light.
Budget is the word. Personal video, getting the job done for under $200.
Right. And Dave, think about some of the folks that are going back to the office. Pick up any article, any magazine. People are going to go back to the office, and they are going to continue using Zoom or Teams or whatever platform. And most of those people are not going to have ring lights at their work desk.
No.
They're probably going to have just either the laptop or, in this case, a webcam. So if all you've got, and you're not bringing ring lights to your office, this can help you dramatically improve how you look and present yourself without the need of a ring light. Now, obviously, a ring light's going to, and we tested this, by the way, and we found that when you do bring up the lights considerably, you may have to dial down some of the light that's in the webcam, and that's in the software app that Poly makes. It's called the Poly Lens. We'll get to that in a moment. But as you could see, let's freeze it here. Go back to that with the phone over my shoulder. Okay, go for it then. So we got another video. It's all about showing folks this. And so if you can see what you look like, and it makes a difference for you, and Dave, the friction points around having video are that, people get tired of looking at grainy images, right? And so, okay, perfect. Let's stop it here. Let's take a look at this. Okay, my producer tell me we're gonna get a better close up. So wait, I want you to pause it there by the plants, Ori. If you can, I want this again. Details matter, and if we're trying to paint the picture, now what you could see, what I'm seeing, Dave. I need to press those drapes behind me. Look at the picture where on the left it's a Poly P5. You can see the wrinkles on the drapes there.
For demonstration purposes, you did that. You purposely did that.
Right. I was not expecting to see that. Now I see that when I'm watching this video. I got to go in and press those drapes. But what I was going to say was, let me point out the plants behind me where my hands are at. On the P5, which is on the left, laptop's on the right, the plants stand out. you could see that. You can visibly see more of the leaves. They're clearer. The white in the wall that's behind it comes through. And I'd love for somebody on Poly to come out and tell us exactly how their lenses are working, because it does bring the light. It brings more light into the camera without us having had. We make no adjustments, zero adjustments on the customization software that they had, just so that you can see what this looks like side by side. You can also make out the phone that's behind me. There we go. You can see that the phone looks sharper, clearer. You can actually make out the buttons that are on there. You probably can't see the numbers on the dial pad, but you can make out the buttons much easier. You can see the webcam that's above the phone. It just looks sharper. So all around, your images, Dave, will stand out. They're going to look a lot better than if you were using your MacBook or your Lenovo laptop or something else that has a built-in webcam.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Again, there's a lot of choices at this price point. If you're not considering the Poly 5, you owe it to yourself to put this into that mix. Compare this to the laptop like we have right now. Compare it with some of the other products that are out there. You know, another feature that I really, really like about this one is the privacy shutter, Rolando.
Right.
So that has a little insurance for you, right? We've all seen since the pandemic started back last March, videos started popping up about oopsies. They had their when they didn't realize it was on.
Right.
It's gonna hopefully save some of that embarrassment.
It does.
Embarrassment.
It totally will do that. So on this P5, and it's really easy to make out, you could see that this is red.
Yeah.
It covers up the lens at that point. It's completely closed. There's no mistake. And it's when it's closed, I don't think you could see it because the light's on. It's a little bit intense, but on the top, it's got, you won't be able to make that out. Let me see if I could do that. No, you won't be able to make that out. But there's an LED. Let me try one more thing. You can kind of make it out. You can see that there's a red.
I see it right there. Yeah.
Yeah. It is much brighter on my end. It's a red LED that tells you also that you've closed and it's not transmitting.
Yeah.
And then it actually has another light that goes white. So that way, in this case, it's open, but it's in standby. Now, once it's transmitting, this LED will turn green. So there's no mistaking when you're on camera, when you're not. So you can leave the lens wide open and it's not transmitting. And the only time it will transmit is when that light turns green. So there's off, standby, and then green. This LED on top will let you know you're actually being seen, and hopefully
That's great.
Not in an oopsie moment.
Well, you know, and a lot of folks, they on their laptops, even if they don't really use video, but they're they're concerned when they see the little camera. I know so many people that they put a little piece of masking tape over that. It just makes them feel better. It just makes them feel better.
No need to do that. This has got a privacy shutter. No need to go through all that. And you can see, boom. Let's do that again. I love that. Red.
Perfect.
Boom, 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 boom. So that's a very easy thing. And it clicks. So that's very easy to know when you're closed, no transmission versus transmission. Yeah. All right, Dave. But anything else that we wanted to say about this on the privacy before we jumped into the other benefits?
No.
All right. So one of the other things that you could do with this is transmit in 1080p as well as 720p. And the reason for that is that there are platforms that won't allow you to transmit in the high resolution, the 1080p. So the 720p is available to you if you can't transmit on a platform that is that allows 1080. So it's a little technical, but for those folks that are looking for that capability to toggle back and forth between 1080 and 720, that's available on the P5. Something that's not available on all the webcams out there.
Yeah, and then the last feature, here's something that I've not seen on. I'll be honest, I haven't seen every single webcam that's out there. There's too many of them. It's not possible. But something very unique on this is that USB port that it gives you. What's that for, Rolando?
So on the back of and I've taken the back out of it, let me go with this. Yeah, here we go. So the back out of the webcam, and that comes off. It's just a little plastic cover that I just took off. All right. It's got, you can't see it. It's right tucked in there. So if you've got a headset on, like you saw it on the video, I wanted to improve the audio quality so that you can hear my voice right here, right? Instead of a microphone that's over there. I put on a headset. So those headsets come, and those wireless Bluetooth headsets come with a Bluetooth dongle that gets you the best audio possible. So I just plug that into the back of the USB port on this webcam. I haven't seen that anywhere else. The other benefit of that, if you're like me and you've got several devices that are all plugged in, Dave, on MacBooks, they're notorious. They have maybe 1, 2 ports on them for USB, and some have none. So if you don't want to sacrifice a precious USB port, this guy comes with a built-in USB port so that you can use your headset if you want to use it. You can use a corded headset. Actually, we tested that earlier. And also a USB headset will plug into here so that you can continue using it if that's what you do. We haven't tried it with another USB device. Presumably, you could use it for some other device. Now, they don't market it that way. Poly may not be happy to do that, but maybe, Dave, we need to test that out and see if maybe like a wireless keyboard or a wireless mouse or something like that, plug those dongles in there and let you use that extra USB port for that as well.
Yeah,
I don't know because we haven't used it, and I don't want to recommend something we haven't done ourselves. And so USB port, extra port, frees you up, lets you not sacrifice an extra USB port that you would normally have on your computer.
Yeah, very cool.
Good point there, Dave. All right, so let's jump into one other thing. So before we jump into the rest of the stuff, I just want to take a moment here for those folks that are just joining us live. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and follow us, subscribe, hit those bells, hit those whistles. We will be releasing some nuggets as I see where we're at on time. We will be releasing some extra nuggets, some extra footage, some extra tips that are not a part of the live. And you want to know when we get those? You'll know when you subscribe and follow us. And if you're on YouTube, hit that bell. That bell tells you right on your phone, we've released a new video just for you guys. So you want to subscribe. Okay, Dave, there's something that takes this whole thing to the next level. Do we have pro tip, Ori? All right, go for it. All right, pro tips. Actually, this one's tips with an S. What we are going to give you now are for those folks that want to take this P5 webcam to the next level. Also, if you're an IT manager, or maybe you are a content creator and you want to really sharpen those images, there's some things that you want to know. For enterprise users or anybody else that's getting ready to use this, there's a free app that comes with the Poly P5 webcam that allows you to do many things. It allows you to customize the settings on the device. It allows you to make different adjustments for zoom level. It can set the zoom into auto mode. It can also set it into manual mode. You can also, Dave, you can have it preset. So let's say you have maybe 4 different places. If you happen to have somebody where that's moving around like a salesperson, you can leave it so it's set so for when you're at home. Maybe your particular situation, you don't have low lighting, you have sufficient lighting, and you don't want to look so washed out. You have a preset, boom, and it brings all of those settings back into the camera. And maybe in the office you have better lighting or not, but it allows you to have it so that wherever you go, if you use it in more than one location, it's going to look its best. The other thing, Dave, I challenge somebody, if you're listening to this, let us know if you have several or even hundreds of users out there today working from home, if you know where those webcams are located. Because if you're an IT manager and Dave, you've worked for a large company too, they've got tags on everything, tags on assets, right? So computers and mouses and monitors that they may have sent you from the IT department, those are all tagged for tracking, really. Now, and they may put physical numbers on them, but IT, if they've sent out a computer or laptop, they want to know where this is at in case it gets lost, in case something happens to this particular asset to the company. And what Poly has done is allowed They have a cloud-based management software. So they have two softwares. One for your desktop where you can customize the P5 as well as other products. And then they have a cloud-based software that allows you to do enterprise level asset tracking, management, pushing software updates, firmware, so that, and also health status of the device. So if a device goes bad, you don't have a CEO or an executive or a high level manager all of a sudden, they don't know they're not IT, but IT can get visibility into that product and know that it's gone bad.
Man, it takes it to the next level. Being able to manage this stuff remotely so that the users don't have to touch it. Users want something easy. Yes, you'll have some of the folks that are a little more technical than others, but being able to remotely manage these devices, and not just the cameras, it could be anything from the new Poly portfolio. All their headsets, all of their cameras can all be remotely managed. And it's fun because it takes that conversation to a next level. And the technical folks, the technical leaders, they're blown away by it every time.
Right. So it's an IT manager's best friend. So if you're an IT manager and you want to have assets that and that where they're at, the asset tracking capability in the PolyLens cloud-based service is there for you to do just that. A lot of folks don't know that they can do that on a webcam, and that's why it's one of the best budget webcams under $200 for businesses, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. The other thing you could do is you can take still images. Now, if you're using the software app that comes with it, you can take still images and it won't interrupt, excuse me, it won't interrupt the stream. So if you're, let's say, doing your Zoom or Teams or whatever platform you're using, and you want to take still images with it, you just go right into the software that Poly has for the webcam, and you can take images right from it, and it will take your images so that maybe you're showing products off or something, maybe selfies, maybe something else. Again, maybe you're a content creator or a lecturer, and you want to take images maybe of a blackboard behind you, and you want to save those for later. The software on the P5 will allow you to do that.
Yeah, awesome.
The other thing, it's a small feature, but I've seen a lot of comments when you go to other parts, maybe Canada, maybe Mexico, other parts, even of the country, that you may have a slightly different frequency for the lights, and that will create flicker. You'll see some flickering on the video.
Yep.
The Poly P5 comes with the ability for you to change the frequency, the hertz, so that's either 50 or 60. I know that's geek speak right there, but if you have flickering issues, the software allows you to toggle the different frequencies available for electricity, the hertz, the 50 or 60 hertz, so that you can have the right frequency on the webcam so it's capturing you and not having that flickering situation. I've seen people complain about that with other webcams. So if you're concerned about flickering or have flickering issues, you can resolve that with the P5 as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Dave, did we cover all of the benefits that we needed to cover on this P5? Or did you want to jump in and say something else about this P5?
I think we covered it all. There's probably some pieces where, like the Poly Hub and Poly Lens, for example, we could do a whole episode on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could do a tutorial on that, because I think that with new software, people may have a little bit of they may just be afraid to use. It's unfamiliar. If it's unfamiliar, I won't even touch it. Right. So, good idea, Dave. We probably will shoot a video on a tutorial on how to leverage that software, how to use it, how to get the most out of it, so that if you're in a mid-level or a medium-sized organization or a large organization, you can know how to use this to your advantage, so that you're not stressed out about users calling in the middle of the night that they can't get this to work, it stopped working, or they go missing, which is the other thing that IT's under pressure. Those IT dollars can be very precious. So if things go missing, you don't know where they are, you're out of some good money, especially if you got a bunch of these laying around.
Absolutely.
All right, Dave. So I think we've hit all of the buttons. Let me summarize what we've talked about today for those that are joining us now. So the P5 by Poly, it's called the Poly Studio P5, which we have available right now. It's shipping. It is available on our website, at global-tech.com, and we have it available as well on Amazon. It can do these things for you. So let's do blow real quick. It's a dismountable webcam, so you can take it off. You could show images, products, and other things with different angles. It comes with low light compensation, so if you don't have a ring light or somewhere where the lighting is just not that good, it will show you very clear. It will show true colors the way it's meant to be shown. Surprising for a webcam at this price range. A privacy shutter, no needs no explanation. Easy to use. No need to put tape. Thank you, Dave, for mentioning the tape. No need to put a tape on this. This comes in with a built-in shutter, so you can just close it and turn it back on. High resolution at 1080p, so that you can see every detail when it comes to this guy or girl, and I'm giving it a name, but the Studio P5, tripod ready. Maybe you're a professional. You need a better image on maybe a steady cam. This particular webcam will do the job. Comes with a built-in port for the tripod. Lastly, and probably for some of you, the most important is an extra USB port, so that you don't sacrifice the precious USB ports that you already have if you don't happen to have a lot of USB. That to me is one to me. I relate to that one, Dave.
Oh, me too.
The MacBook I have has two USB ports. Come on, Mac. You could do better than that. Only two. Like, what?
Hey, so on a budget, you can buy those little side carriages that turn the 2 into 4 or 6, but on a budget, if you want to invest in something, go for the camera. It's going to give you one. It's like a bonus. It's just a nice added bonus.
Right. It is. A bonus if you need more ports. I know. For me, I want to have like a big mixing board of USB ports. I got so many. I need like one that has 20 on it. So Apple, please make them with more USB ports. Please. That's my request. That's my feature request.
Listen, I'm telling you, Pauly, they hit it out of the park with this one. Good job, gang. I love it. We love it. We love it.
We did. You guys did. And we're planning, just for you, if you're watching this, we're planning on having Sam Kennedy on again, who will bring us up to speed on some of the new toys that they have coming out, some that just released. And we'll throw some in the description, so that you can get to some of those other videos that we talked about earlier. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, Dave.
Yeah, great seeing you.
Wait a minute. The producer is saying, don't close the show yet. We forgot the trivia question. So let's go ahead and do this is what happens, Dave, when we don't pick out the trivia stuff sometimes. You pick it out sometimes, I pick it out. And in this case, Ori picked it out, not to leave him out. So thanks for reminding me, Ori. The world's oldest operating webcam has been on since what year? 1984, 1994, 2004, or 2014? Dave, what say ye?
I always get these wrong. It has to be 1984.
It has to be?
Has to be.
Let's see. We're in 2021, right?
We're in 2021.
Oldest operating webcam has been on. Operating webcam. I don't know. Let's say 2014. What the heck? I'm going to go all the way to the newest year. Not enough time to deduce here, but okay, 2014, and you say 1984. Who is right and who is wrong? Look.
Never right.
Neither of us was right on. We got it so wrong. In the 1994, that's the oldest webcam in the world, has been running since
I think what he was saying is, since 1994, this webcam called the Fog Cam has been live, and it hasn't turned off since.
Oh my goodness.
So
long story short, it was meant to provide a snapshot of campus life for outsiders. Interesting. Wow, there it is. The San Francisco Fog Cam. There we go. Thanks, Ori. Thanks for plugging that in there. So big props to the San Francisco Fog Cam.
Congratulations.
All right. Longest running. No, congratulations. You win the title of the longest running operating webcam.
Somebody had to take it. Somebody had to win that contest. But yeah, pretty cool. I like that.
Awesome. Awesome. So if you like this content, I just want to remind you again, subscribe, follow us. We appreciate your support. Send us your comments. Either myself or somebody on my team will gladly respond to your request. Maybe you have questions on how to get set up on these technologies. We have plenty of experts in-house to help you on your journey so that you can get your perfect device for your requirements. I want to thank you for taking some time out today and watching us. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day. Bye-bye.